You welcome back. I'm sure those prayer sessions were fire and the confession. Awesome. So welcome. Let's dive into this message, how to find and keep true love. A few things you need to realize. Let me start with a very interesting story. A man was walking down the street one day, and all of a sudden he heard a voice that says, "Stop. If you move ahead, a brick will drop from the skyscraper and injure you." So the man stopped, and immediately he saw the brick dropped. He said, "Wow." Then he was going one day to cross the street, and the same voice says, "Stop. A car is about to speed past and break the red light. And if you cross, it might eat you and kill you." And the man stopped, and that happened exactly. Wow. Then the man paused and said, "This voice, who are you?" The voice said, "I'm your guardian angel." "You are my guardian angel?" Then the man said, "So where were you when I got married?" That is, you could have warned me that time. Where were you when I got married? And I know there are so many married men and women that feel like that. And where was my guardian angel? How come nobody warned me? So I want us to look at the word itself before I dive into the message. How to find and keep true love. How to. In life, you need to know how to. You need to know how to. A lot of things that look difficult are not difficult. It's just because you don't know how to do them. I've discovered that when you know how to, your life is easy. As a student at the great University of Ibadan years ago, I was trying to iron my clothes, and all of a sudden, the clothes got burnt by the iron. It's not like what you have today. You have no sticky irons. We didn't have that in those days, So it got stuck. The clothes was messed up. The iron was messed up. I was livid. I was annoyed because what happened to me was I was listening to a message. I was praying in tongues. I was cooking concussion. If you don't know what concussion is, don't bother. I was cooking concussion and ironing my clothes, because you see, the Bible says, "Redeem the time, for the days are evil." I've learned to be multitasking. That's when I learned it from. I'm still like that up till now. I have to do so many one day that I can't afford to be slack. So I was listening to the message, praying in tongues, ironing my clothes, cooking my concussion. In the midst of all that, I got the clothes burnt. And what happened was I had God speak to me and said, "Whatever you do that is too difficult, you have not discovered the secret." That was what was on my meditation. I was meditating on it. You mean whatsoever you're doing that is too difficult, you've not discovered the secret. In the midst of that, I put the iron on the clothes, walked to check the concussion, came back, burnt. Oh my God. So I was annoyed about the clothes, because I didn't have a lot of them in those days. Imagine, as a student. Number two, I was annoyed with God for giving me that kind of a word that I was trying to decode, that made me to forget temporarily that I was ironing. Number three, I was annoyed because now I have to clean the burnt part away from the iron. So I had to remove my shirt and got a knife, and I was struggling with it. And somebody was passing by and saw me struggling. I said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm trying to clean this thing off." He said, "It's not that difficult." I said, "You come and try." He said, "It's very easy." The guy took the iron from me. He said, "Where's your toothpaste?" "So you want to brush for the iron?" He said, No, where's your toothpaste?" I gave him the toothpaste, put a little bit on the thing, and used clothes to wipe it off. Wow, it was like magic to me. And immediately I had God say to me one more time, "Whatever you are doing that is too difficult, you've not discovered the secret." Very important. So I've discovered that unfortunately in life, people try to discover the secret in their career, the secret of health, the secret of living long, the secret of getting a good deal, but they just don't give the same attention to the secret of finding and keeping true love. What they don't realize is that if their marriage, their love life goes bananas, every other thing seems to lose its trajectory. I'll give you an example. Years ago, I got invited by an oil company to come and do a training for them. I do that sometimes. And I was expecting they want me to do a training on productivity, on time management, and all those stuff. I was shocked. They said the training is about marriage. I said, "Marriage? Oil company? What's the problem?" They said they just discovered that they employ these young men, dynamic people. They train them in the best of schools. They send them for courses. And because of that, they're so diligent. They give their 110% of the work, they make good money, but all of a sudden they started losing productivity in their 40s. and most of them in their 50s, they either have heart attack, or they have stroke, or they have high blood pressure, or they have depression, and they don't know what to do. So they brought in experts to come and study that. What is happening here? And what they discover surprised them. What the experts, the consultant discover is that the problem is they started early pursuing the career. They put all their attention on the career. They went all the way with the career, and they did well in the career, but they didn't give their marriage and their children attention. So by the time they are in their 40s and 50s, their marriage is rocky, their children are doing drugs or running away from school or messing up, and they could not cope with that. I was amazed. So now they said, when we recruit new people, we want you and some other people to come talk to them about how to make their marriage work. That we discover, we train them about their work, we train them about how to get ahead in the career, we train them about how to do a lot of things in the company we have employed them in, but we need to also train them where their love life is concerned. I found that very amusing. You see, I remember my son, Pastor Kingsley Okonkwo, who is also, like he said to everybody, he said, learn from me, teaching relationship, and he started doing the same, love, dating, and sex. He said a young man, Igbo, vibrant young man, started coming to his meetings, and the boy was telling him, he said, sir, I love you. When you teach business principles, my head goes gaga. I mean, this is awesome. He said, but when you are teaching love, I don't want that, and I'm not even bothered about that. So whenever I see that what you're teaching is love, I don't come. I don't come. But when I see you are teaching business principles, the prosperity principles from God's word, I'm excited. And Pastor Kingsley said, he told him, that is not, you won't be bad. I said, no, that is me. So the guy continued like that. He got married, maybe at 32, 33. Unfortunately, married the wrong person. He didn't know how to marry right. He didn't know how to find and keep a true love. He married at like 32. By like 30, he had made a lot of money. The success principles had worked for him, but he died before he was 35 because of a problematic marriage. I'm trying to say to you how to find and keep true love. You need to know how to. Whatever you don't know how to, whatever you're ignorant of looks bigger than you. Let me say this to you. Do you know that we all pay for our ignorance? We do. When a mechanical engineer takes his car to a mechanic, he is paying for his ignorance on not knowing how to get his hand dirty. When an electrical engineer has an electrical fault and he calls a local electrician, he's paying for his ignorance. So I tell people that when I discover that almost every payment I make is payment for my ignorance. I pay my tailor because I'm ignorant on how to sew. I pay my mechanic. I'm ignorant on how to tune my car or how to service my car. I pay my doctor sometimes for ignorant of not knowing how to stay healthy, But I just make up my mind that what I know to do is sufficient enough for me to pay for what I don't know how to do. Did you get that? So what I am knowledgeable about pays what I'm ignorant about. But when it comes to your love life, that is nothing that can pay for it. I told you earlier on in Matthew chapter 19 that Jesus was teaching, and they asked him about marriage. They can we divorce our wife for any reason? And he told them, you can't. That is not the will of God. He said, Moses told us we can do that. He said, yeah, Moses said that to you because of the hardness of your heart and all that. Then the disciples, not the Pharisees, disciples all of a sudden said, excuse me, sir, if this translation said they objected. They became lawyers. Objection, my Lord. If these are the terms of marriage, it's better not to marry, not to desire marriage. Can you imagine? God said it's not good for man to be alone. They are saying it's better not to even think of getting married. If we and all that, then they say we are stuck. Message translation, Matthew 19, 10 and 11. You need to read that. They say, excuse me, my Lord, if those are the terms of marriage, then we are stuck. Why get married? So you are married, you're already stuck. That is why if you are not married, you need to know how to find. If you are married, you need to know how to keep. So I'm talking to them about how to find and keep true love. How to is very, very important. You need to know how to. You might get married quickly, but to come out of it is never quickly. You might get married, it's your choice. But you see, like I said somewhere, and they've quoted it widely on social media, and they've put it everywhere. I said that you are free to make your choice, but you are never free from the consequences of your choice. Can I say that again? You are free to make your choice. You are free to eat as much sugar as you want to eat, but you are not free from the consequences of diabetes. You are free to marry anybody you want to marry, but you are not free from the consequences of the marriage. Very, very important. You are not free from that. So you need to know how to. So the first thing I want to say to you is know how to. And that is why this message is titled How To. So this is an How To series. Number 2, how to find. You know, it's very interesting that marrying somebody is a how to thing. How to find. You have to find. God does not, in that sense, just give. You have to find. You know, somebody jokingly said, maybe because when God gave Eve to Adam and there was a trouble, and God said, Adam, why did you do what you did? Adam said, it's not me, it's the wife you gave me. Put it on God. So maybe God said, okay, from now I will give you, I will cooperate with you to get the right one, but I won't give you. You see, want to marry somebody you find. You have to find. And unfortunately, a lot of people have no clue on how to find. Some people even turn who to marry to lottery. They get a book, they put the right three names, Sandra, Stella, Subi. Then they roll it. They say, Father, in the name of Jesus, the one I pick is the one. Oh, I feel the anointing. Thank you. Oh, yes. Then they open, they see Subi. They say, sorry, Lord, one more chance. If you pick a wife by lottery, you will lose by lottery. That is not how to find. You see, I've said it before, and I'm saying it again, that when it comes to who to marry, that is one prayer you don't pray with your eyes closed. No. Other prayer, you close your eyes and you pray, Father, in the name of Jesus. But when it comes to who to marry, you better open your eyes wide. You pray, you look at one, no, God forbid, you, you know. You've got to open your eyes, because it determines everything about your life. It determines absolutely everything. I read a book years ago, The Millionaire Next Door. It's an attempt by a man to interview 1,000 millionaires in the United States of America. What he found astounded him. The first thing that astounded him is that he discovered that the millionaires in America are not really the ones with the flashy cars or the flashy dresses. He discovered that the people that live next door, that you don't know have 5 houses, that you don't know have more than $1 million in investment. They look ordinary. They eat McDonald's and buy in Walmart, and they're not buying all the expensive stuff. So that's why I call the book The Millionaire Next Door. He was just amazed. The second thing that amazed him is that 75% of those millionaires say who they marry is a key factor in their becoming millionaires. Married millionaire, how does he tell it? He does tell it. Because if you marry right, you have the peace of mind. And sometimes you have the uniformity. Sometimes you have the collaboration to become millionaire more easily. And you see, even if you try to be a millionaire, you marry wrong, by the time you divorce and you start to pay alimony, which some Yoruba people in America call alimony. And your property is divided into 2, and the lawyers take a chunk of your money. You can never be, even if you're a millionaire, almost a millionaire, you come back to almost a beginner. So I'm trying to say to you that you need to find. See the way Proverbs 18:22 put it: he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtaineth the favor of the Lord. So you have to find. The finding is the key. The finding is very, very important. The finding is key. You see, the Bible said in 1 Corinthians 13, either there is prophecy, it will fail. If it's word of knowledge, it will cease. It says only love that lasts forever. So that is why you don't put the burden of the finding on your pastor or your parents. You know what Solomon said? Solomon said, wealth and riches are in the inheritance of parents, but a good wife cometh from the Lord. I love that. That's what Solomon said. And Solomon had 700 wives, 300 concubines, 1,000 women to one man. If Solomon says anything like that, don't even That is not something your spiritual leader can give. We can counsel, we can advise, we can warn, but we cannot say, I give you this person to go and marry, because the ones that even find one another, they are fighting. Not what now say it's me that gave you. I don't give you. I might suggest, I might say to you, that's also my job as a pastor, I might tell you that what's wrong with you? Why are you going after that lady? Don't you see this one that, So I'm a pastor. I can become a traffic warden to try to show you where to go. But I won't tell you, marry this person. I won't do that. You need to find, and that's why you need to listen to this. And if you're a parent, you need to make sure your children listen to this. And even if you're married, you need to get all these things I'm about to say about finding, so that you can counsel younger generation. If you're a pastor or a spiritual leader, it's absolutely important you will come with me in this series, how to find and keep true love. How do I find the true love? How do I keep the true love? That is what we're talking about this season. So I talked about I talk about how to find. Then let me talk a bit about how to keep. You see, in life, you are not made by what you find, you are made by what you keep. As a young man, I had a contract with an organization. This is not church-based organization, though it's led by Christians, but they want me to train some people on the art of managing money. I was a young man myself, and and I didn't really have money, but when you have some information, it works. So I went to study a lot of information, and I went to class to teach them. There were not many, maybe about 30 people. Most of them in their midlife. Remember, in that time, I was in my late 20s. They were in their midlife, and invariably, I learned from them more than they learned from me. Can I shock you? I learned more from them. You see, there are two things you can learn in life. You can learn how to, you can learn how not to. So if you don't become an example, you can become a warning. They were my warnings, one after the other. I don't know what made me ask a question before I started. I just said, why are you here? And I started hearing stories. People, I'm talking about, when I'm in my late 20s. So that's quite a couple of decades ago. And I'm talking about people saying to me, some time ago, I made 12 million naira, and now I can't even account for it. I don't have a house, I don't have a car, or my brother had to give me the car I'm driving now. Story after story from men and women. I left the first class saying to myself, I must not join this group. I must, physician heal thyself. Well, this thing I came to teach, I must pay good attention to it as I'm teaching to become a student of myself, so I don't end up like them. How to find, because finding is not enough. Keeping is key. Do you know, unfortunately, in my position as a clergyman and as a counselor, advisor, mentor to a lot of people, including some celebrities, some government officials, some politicians, some pastors, have discovered that some people found the best person, but they just didn't know how to keep. TJ and I, we've been married 22 years, but we have 3 years of courtship. And I must tell you sincerely, the 22 years have been sweet. Of course, we've had our differences, but it's been very sweet. But the 3 years of courtship, we had 1.5 years of wonderful time, 1.5 years of absolute fighting. In fact, when I got married to her, after a year, I said, maybe the reason why we are not fighting is because everything we should fight about, we fought about it before we got married. But you see, one day we were talking. We weren't married then. So we're talking, and TJ said, you know what, if you don't make this work, one thing I will never be able to say is that I won't be able to say I didn't hear God. I paused. I said, what do you mean by that? He said, I will say that God told me you're my husband, and I'm sure God told you I'm your wife, but we're just stupid enough, we didn't know how to make it work. That was, for me, an awakening. It was as if somebody slapped me, because all of a sudden I discovered 3 things. Number 1, this is of God. Number 2, we can mess it up. That it's of God does not mean that it's going to work. That you find right does not mean you can keep right. Number 3, I discovered if I lose this lady, I'm going to lose a lot. So it was revolutionary for me. I'm trying to say to you that it's not enough that you find. You can find right and still lose. So the third thing I want to talk to you about is, I've talked about outtold, I've talked about find, I've talked about keep. The fourth thing is true love. I know we've all had this story that there are no true love. I just finished this series, Love Lies, because that's what people make us feel, that there is nothing like true love. It just does not work. They tell us not to put our hopes. I had a man, a cleric, say something very funny. He said, we are all useless, So he said, just find the useless you can live with and just stay with them. I do agree. I believe there is something called true love. I believe very strongly that is a love that can be so true that you will look back and be grateful you found them. I believe very strongly that there are marriages that are working in our days, even now. Marriages that are working. So experience, I know a couple, because I'm their third child. I grew up with them. These people are in love. They had them 4 boys. They made us realize that there is something called true love. So I must tell you, I started life at an advantage. Unlike many other people that started life believing there is no even a true love, I started life believing there is, because I've seen it. So that will make me to say to you, whoever you are listening to me, please, for the sake of your children, find and keep. For the sake of your children, make it work. You see, children follow what we do more than what we say. The Bible said, train up your child in the way you should go. The word train, it didn't say teach. Yeah, we, especially of colored people, especially of African origin, we want to teach, we want to tell our children, do as I say, don't do as I do. We tell them not to go late to places and they see us go late everywhere. We tell them not to eat at night, they see us eating at night. We tell them not to sleep too late and we sleep too late. We tell them not to talk evil of people and they hear us talking evil of people. And we follow what we do, not what we say. See, train. Train means that there must be a moving and a following. Train. So, especially when you see train on the rail, you understand what he's saying. You move, they follow. That is the only way to raise children. There can be true love. I've also said to people, when you go to the social media nowadays, all you find there is people whose relationship is not working. Their love life is zero. You see that celebrity, you see that influencer. We discovered that she bought a car for herself and like that it was the guy that bought it for her. They come in and say the love of my life. Meanwhile, they are fighting. TJ and I counsel a lot of people, and sometimes we finish counseling some of these your influencers and celebrities, and then they nearly break their heads in front of us. Then they go on Instagram and say, oh, my babe, my boo, I can't do without you. You are the best. Thank you for giving me a nice time. And TJ and I, we are like, wow. And we see 300 comments. Everybody say, so when people now hear tomorrow what they've been going through, and that's why some of you are fighting who you are married to now because of Instagram. That is an audio life. Don't even go there. Everything is perfect on Instagram, but it might not be perfect in real life like that. So I appeal to people whose marriage is working. Please, put it on social media. I'm begging you. I know some of you want to shield your personal life from, but what you don't know is that a generation needs an example. A generation, how do you solve an equation in maths when you've not seen an example of it? How do you believe what you have never observed? How do you believe in true love? You see, I love to say that some young men, they look at a girl and they say, I love you more than life itself. I'm going to be to you the best husband you have ever seen. But the problem, young man had never in his life seen a good husband. Do you know there are people like that? Their dad was not one, their uncle is not one. Sometimes their pastor is not one. The girl vows to you to be the best wife you have ever seen, but she had never seen a good wife. The Bible said, let the older woman teach the younger woman to love their husband. But this is the generation where the older woman is telling the younger woman, men, they are useless, so you just cope with them. You just stay with them because of the children. That's what they're saying. either in life or even on social media. So I'm trying to say to you that please, 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 if yours is working, let them know. I'm not saying put all your life on social media, no, but flaunt what is working. Please let the younger generation have an idea that there is an other side to the coin, and that sometimes true love exists. So I'm trying to say to you, there is something called true love. You might need to listen, like I say again, to love lies. What I did last week, very 10 lies I debunked. So, but there is something I said there that is worth repeating now. Somebody said, but how can I find true love? You see, Bible says, he that findeth, so you have to find. How can I know? If I love the way Amplify pray, I think Amplify said, he that findeth a true wife. Which means it can be fake wife. So if you find true wife, you obtain the favor of the Lord. So I've discovered that it is a BOGO thing. Buy one, get one free. You know, BOGO. It's BOGO when it comes to marriage. You get a true wife, bam! You get favor. And I love that, because there are some favor then I don't need to fast for, I don't need to pray for, I don't need to do too much confession on. I should just get a true wife and bam, favor comes with her. Is that not a good thing? Well, maybe because I'm from a tribe in Nigeria called Ijebu, we are known for looking for good deals. So I know a good deal when I found one. When I found TJ, I said to myself, this is a deal. I get this one free, bam! I get favor from God. What else am I looking for? And that's been evident in the 22 years we've been married. So I said 3 things. I said, when people say it's not easy to get true love, you can't even find true love, it is easy if you know these 3 things. And these 3 things I'm about to say, it's not only about love, it's about anything in this world. Anything. I said last week that as I travel the world, people had always told me, you can't find this, you can't find that. I remember my family and I were in US on vacation last year, September. We were in Washington. Then from Washington, we moved to Houston for a few days on our way to Denver. So in Houston, one of my daughters said, oh, she craves to eat amala. And we're joking, amala here, where we get amala, especially when it's really visiting people. So forget it, we get rice, we get all that, blah, blah, blah. Then a son of mine came, Pastor Bayo, and he said, oh, and I was joking with him. I said, Pastor Bayo, see, when we got to Maryland, fried rice and the jollof rice was waiting for us in the hotel. You didn't even prepare anything for us. Oh, he said, I was waiting for you to come, let's go. I said, where are we going? He said, it's a surprise, let's go. We went. When we got to this place in Houston, in fact, at the door we were in Houston, we moved into the place, it was mushy. I'm not joking. I mean, as we entered, we saw Agbo. I don't know how to say that in English, Agbo or something. We saw, Jadi, Agbo. I've not seen that in, not exaggerating, in about 25 years. What? In Houston, Texas, they were playing Fuji music. The setting is mushy. The food, the seasoning, the pepper, the chili. I said, what? Are we still in America? So as I move from city to city, I've seen people say to me, you can't find this here, you can't find that here. And every time they've been proven. So 3 things. Number 1, you need to know what you're looking for. You just must know what you're looking for. You can't find what you don't know. You see, if this has happened to me a lot of times, which I call the staff, go to my car, go and bring me something. And they go and say they didn't find it. I said, go again, it's here. They go and say they didn't find it. And I go and I find it. I say, oh, we don't know, that is what it looks like. So, what are you looking? Bible says, for this cause shall a man leave his father and his mother and cleave to his wife. So a man must cleave to a wife. So you must be a man. So if you're a woman, it is a man, not a boy, not a boo, not a bobo. No 6 packs, because some man might have amusement park and some boy might have 6 packs. You are not marrying packs, you are marrying the man. 6 packs don't pay tuition. 6 packs don't stay through to love. So I'm trying to say to you, you must know what you're looking for. I'm saying, for this man will leave his father and cleave to his wife. He that findeth a wife, you must know it's a wife. You must know what you're looking for. Unfortunately, some people are looking for a hawk of a guy. They're looking for an handsome bubble. All that is okay if it does not come in total package wrong. So you must know what you're looking for. Number 2, You must know where to look. There are some things you can't find in some places. You can't find it there. There are some kind of food you don't find in Continental Hotel Lagos. I stay there very often. It's a beautiful hotel, one of the best right now in Nigeria. But notwithstanding, there are some kind of things you want you can't find there. You don't go there and order for cocoa and kilishi. They just don't have it. What some of you are looking for, you can't find in the clubs. You can't find them in the nightclubs. You can't find them in the bars. You can't find them in the places you have been looking for them. That is why it looks tough. So you must know what you're looking for. You must know where to find what you're looking for. Finally, you must have the purchasing power. That is where a lot of people miss it. They might even know what they're looking for. They might even know where to find, but what they are trying to get, they don't have the purchasing power for it. And I'm not talking cash, I'm not talking money, but I'm talking about people ladies that say, me, I want to marry a king, I want to marry a king. And my question is, are you a queen? Because it takes a queen to marry a king. It takes a queen to marry a king. Oh, I want to marry a girl that's spiritual, a girl that's industrious, a girl that has a good job. And this is a guy that is spiritual, 0. Industrious, -10. Good job, mba. Some of you, the kind of person you are believing God for, if God give that person to you, that will be a punishment. Listen to what I'm about to say now. It's very important. You must meet the requirement of your requirement. You must meet the requirement of your requirement. You must meet the requirement. So when people are looking for a job, for example, and they come to me and say, this is the kind of job I'm looking for, this salary grade, this kind of I ask them, say, look, think, do you meet the requirement for that job? So when you sit down to think of the kind of spouse you want to marry, your true love, do you meet the requirement? And that's not a bad thing if you don't meet it. Just start to work on it. Oh my God, time goes very fast. I was thinking I'll just do what I've done right now in about 30 minutes as an introduction. Then I will start to give you 5 points to find true love, but I can't even go there now. But next week, this Sunday, I'm going to continue. Are you been blessed already? Make sure you share this with all your friends and family. Let them hear this because you will be doing them a lot of good. Thank you for being here. I'll be back after this time out.